Hello, BookTube. I thought I'd give you a little mail. Who's up for a little mail? I got a few packages here, no boxes, nothing big, but that might be something interesting. And I do like going through the mail with you. And I have my package disposal team ready. Oh, what is that? Oh. All right, so what have we got here? Okay. All right, great. This is okay. This is a good combination. Then this is a catalog and a book, and the book is by Nina Revoyer. It's a student of history. It's from Akashic Books. They also sent me their latest catalog. And what is a student of history? It looks like this is going to be a nice finished paperback with the deckled edges and the French flaps and all. And the author is the author of 5 previous novels. So, okay, I don't know what this is. It's like a doctoral dissertation. I don't need anything except just the one page about the book. There we go. See, I don't need any of the rest of this at all. I just need the one page about the book. This comes out in early March. And what have we got here? Biddy, said I, after binding her to secrecy, I want to be a gentleman. Pip's words from the opening chapters of Great Expectations find resonance in Rick Nagano, a University of Southern California graduate student who finds himself with a rare opportunity to access the upper echelons of society when he accepts a position as a research assistant to the eclectic and guarded Mrs. W., a fiercely private woman of means with enough capital to keep her name out of the news. What Rick finds in his search and in his glamorous new social life changes his understanding of power, wealth, and the truth about how history is created and shaped. Okay, that sounds fascinating. A student of history, and it's going to come out in a nice looking paperback original. It looks like. Actually, does this thing tell me? This thing should probably tell me, right? Whether or not it's going to. No. It's coming out as both. In March, it comes out as a $28 hardcover and also a $16 paperback. Fantastic. Let's hope they print fewer of the hardcover. And I've got an Akashic catalog to go through. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's see what the next one is. Don't read it. It's not Fermi's last theorem. It's just a piece of paper. You don't have to study it like that. Anyway. Okay, speaking of the devil, this is by Ron Cohen. It comes out in May, and it is called Gravity Century, From Einstein's Eclipse to Images of Black Holes. So, popular astronomy, a very thin thing. May 29th, 1919, is the day that Albert Einstein became an international celebrity. On that day, astronomer Arthur Eddington and his team observed a solar eclipse and found something extraordinary. Gravity bends light, just as Einstein had predicted. The findings confirmed his theory of general relativity, fundamentally changing our understanding of space and time. There's another book coming out soon, coming out this year, called Einstein Vindicated or something like that. It's a much longer book on the exact same. Well, this is about lots of further research. But there is a big book, a big narrative history coming out of that whole, absolute factual vindication of one of Einstein's theories. I forget the name of it. I don't think we've seen it on this channel. I dipped into it and it was rather good. I don't know anything about this at all, though. A century later, an international team of astronomers is observing 2 black holes, Sagittarius A, at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and another at the core of M87, a galaxy 54 million light-years away, to better understand the gravity effects that astrophysicists expect to occur near a black hole. Wow. Fantastic. Okay. Well, I'm always up for popular astronomy, although it's a little pang of sadness, because once upon a time, a long time ago, but things haven't changed. In fact, if anything, they've gotten worse. Once upon a time, a long time ago, I was in a small town Indiana community center, and we got to talking about science, and I mentioned Einstein, and I mentioned that gravity bends light. I made a sort of tabletop rough illustration of the concept of space-time as a fabric, as a tablecloth, and they just laughed. All the adults there just laughed. It wasn't that I was telling them something new that seemed so strange that maybe it would get a nervous chuckle. It was that I was telling them something that they had no intention of ever believing, no matter what. And that was that. I never think about the basic concepts of relativity without thinking about that moment, because that moment has only gotten worse over time in America. But it's not that bad here at Hyde Cottage, so I will, and the book will take me 20 minutes to read. So, all right, great. Let's move on. Creature Bean has moved away from the floor to a space directly behind me. Oh, there we go. That's right. She's back on the job. Good. All right. So this is Thomas and Mercer, sort of an atmospheric, intelligent thriller mystery division of the publishing arm of Amazon. This is a very nice-looking thing. Hilary Davidson, One Small Sacrifice. Look at that. Very nice. So what is this? Hilary Davidson is a master at blending aspects of light and dark in her fiction, creating mainstream mystery appeal with enough noir to satisfy even the most hard-boiled crime aficionado. The award-winning crime writer delivers again with her latest novel, One Small Sacrifice, the launch of a brand new series featuring NYPD detective Sharon Sterling. Sharon Sterling is her name. Sharon is brilliant and dedicated, as well as hard-headed, because while her painful personal history gives her invaluable insight into the minds of criminals and their victims, it can also give her tunnel vision. Detective Sterling is certain that Alex Traynor got away with murder when his friend Corey fell to her death under suspicious circumstances a year prior. Corey's death was ruled a suicide, but Sharon thinks Alex, a wartime photojournalist suffering from PTSD who claims he doesn't remember what happened, is to blame. When Alex's fiancée, Emily, a talented and beloved local doctor, goes missing, Sharon is determined to make certain that this time Alex doesn't evade justice. Echoes of a certain famous case. I'm sure some of you who follow true crime will recognize. I wonder if shots will ring out through a bathroom door in this one. But anyway, this is a nice big thing, and it comes out on June 1st. Great. So let's move on here. Bean, are you ready for another one? Are you ready for another one? Oh, you are. Goodness gracious. You don't want the main package. You have a little piece of it. That's enough for you. All right. What have we got here? Penguin Books. Okay. All right, great. It's another thriller. Paperback original, it looks like, called In the Dark by Cara Hunter. With the publication of her debut thriller, Close to Home, Cara Hunter took the UK by storm, announcing her as a force to be reckoned with. Close to Home has sold more than 400,000 copies. Good for her. Good Lord. Wow. It's been selected as a Richard and Judy Book Club book, and it was an instant Sunday Times bestseller. And I guess that has raised expectations for the next book, which also features Detective Inspector Adam Foley. So that's this. That is the next one. During a routine home renovation, a young woman and a toddler are found locked in a neighboring basement when a crumbling shared wall is breached. They're starved, thirsty, clinging to life, and unidentifiable. We've seen this before, right? Paperback original or not, I think I got an advance of this. I hope I haven't reached the point where all thrillers sound the same. I'm pretty sure we've seen this before. The woman can't speak. There are no missing persons reports that match their profiles, and the confused elderly man who owns the house claims he has never seen them before. The inhabitants of quiet Frampton Road are in shock. How could this happen right under their noses? But D.I. Adam Foley knows nothing is impossible, and no one is as innocent as they seem. Okay. What would we do without thrillers, right? And their breathless taglines. Since, of course, plenty of things are impossible, and also plenty of people are as innocent as they seem. but still, thrillers must have their way. All right. So we've got 2 more to go here. 2 cardboard packages. All the rest of these are cardboard packages, but there are no boxes. I haven't had a nice big heavy box in a while. Oh, Bean's getting tired. Oh, my little raccoon is getting tired. Okay. Oh, great. All right. Fantastic. This is another finished copy. Okay, all right, let me into that. I just need to know about the book. But we already know about the book. We've already seen this. This comes out in February, I think. This is right around the corner. Oh, January 29th. Close enough. This is All the Lives We Ever Lived by Catherine Smith. This is her book about To the Lighthouse. Virginia Woolf's novel To the Lighthouse. But it's not just about that. It's about how... it's a lot like My Life in Middlemarch, and also I think the publisher is comparing it to H is for Hawk, because it's a personal memoir that through which is braided Virginia Woolf's novel, which the author first encounters in a fairly carefree academic setting, the way I imagine a lot of people encounter it for the first time, but then it becomes a touchstone at points in her life, good and especially bad, for years after that, prompting her to write this book. What have we got? What is this going to tell us? The author first read To the Lighthouse as a student at Oxford, wrapped in the comfort of an English sitting room and the companionable silence of she shared with her father. When he died, she turned again to the novel, a book about grief in all its forms, to make sense of her experience, gaining not only new perspective on her father's story, but also a bone-deep understanding of her own favorite literary work. And that's a fairly standard thing. It's not just My Life in Middlemarch that's done this in, like, say, the last 20 years. But I love them, usually. They can be a little bit ham-handed. I'm one of the only people, I think, who thought that My Life in Middlemarch was a little ham-handed. But the thing I love is that the authors usually don't commit the primary sin of narcissism. They usually don't try to give you the impression that they are more important than the book. That is the linchpin of their story. And I don't get the impression that's going to happen here. So I'm hoping that this book will find a wide audience and drive a lot of people to go and read Virginia Woolf, to go and read To the Lighthouse. I always worry, I know I probably shouldn't, but I always worry that these modern classics, I always worry that their reputations are built on sand, and that if we're not constantly guarding the watchtower, they'll fade away. I shouldn't probably worry about that when it comes to Virginia Woolf. I remember the day about 15 to 20 years ago when the Norton Anthology of American Literature, absolutely standard, indispensable, and unavoidable literary guide, textbook in American schools that reprints whole novels, excerpts from novels, poetry, proclamations, essays, that sort of thing, all with great annotations. The Norton anthologies, they are amazing things to have. And they go into schools. They go into schools everywhere. They are just a watchword of teaching literature in schools, in high school and college, all throughout America. And I remember vividly the day that I read in Publishers Weekly that the Norton Anthology of American Literature was no longer going to include The Rise of Silas Lapham by William Dean Howells. An absolutely terrific novel that the editors of the Norton Anthology had decided had now become kind of a period piece and didn't really have anything to say to modern readers. And the minute I saw that, I thought, oh, okay, Howells is doomed, because he's not remembered for anything else. He wrote a huge amount of stuff, but he's not remembered he's remembered, in history, as a friend of literary giants and editor or whatnot. But in terms of true immortality, which is achieved only through works of literature, he's doomed. Now, if you take The Rise of Silas Lapham out of the Norton Anthology of American Literature, then it's gone. It will stop being reprinted in no time at all. I haven't checked recently But I'm willing to bet that if the Rise of Silas Lapham is available in your local retail bookstore, it is only through the Penguin Classic. And that maybe that isn't even there. Maybe that you have to order. Although, don't I remember that there's a new Norton Critical Edition of the Rise of Silas Lapham? So maybe those go into schools too. But anyway, I don't think I have to worry about Virginia Law. So I'm not. So what is this last one? We have one more thing here. Another finished copy. Okay, this comes out in early February. It's by Lisa Gornick, and it's called The Peacock Feast. Do we ever see this? It doesn't ring a bell. The Peacock Feast follows one Prudence O'Connor, who recently put her 101st birthday, past her 101st birthday, though the staggering rush of memories that come flowing in when her grandniece Grace, a stranger to her, shows up at her door with a box from Prudence's estranged brother. What follows is a vivid tale that travels seamlessly through generations, moving from coast to coast and across the Atlantic, following the joys and tragedies of a family under the weight of both the repressed trauma and an abundance of love and loss. The drama of Gornick's novel begins one summer day in 1916 when the famous glass artist and designer Louis Tiffany, the employer of Prudence's parents, dynamites the breakwater in front of his mansion at Oyster Bay, Long Island, in order to deter the town's public use of the beach. The explosion ricochets through the generations and ignites the ever-unanswerable question that permeates Gornick's book. What if? Okay. I don't think we saw an advance. I don't think I got an advance copy of this. This comes out early February. February's certainly shaping up. This is one of those times. They're frequent. Those times are frequent. This is one of those times where I wish that the Star Trek transporter device was a reality. I wish that I could ask 5 or 10 of you, just transport you over here, without asking you to spend $1,000 on plane tickets or train tickets or steamer ships or whatever. Just transport you over here for the grand moving of the books. Any time now, any day now, I'm going to have to clear off the January shelf, decide what to do with all of those books, and then move up all of the February books and organize them by release date from first to last, from left to right, starting with February 1st. And I love having company for that, and I'm not always able to arrange it. Or sometimes the company that I have is muscular teenagers who couldn't care less. So, they're perfectly happy to watch me natter all about it. That they think that's funny, but the books won't mean anything to them. What I wouldn't give to be able to snap my fingers and just get a bunch of you here. But anyway, so that is our mail haul for today. We have the Peacock Feast, All the Lives We Ever Lived, about To the Lighthouse, and a bunch of other things. Then a couple of thrillers, In the Dark, by Cara Hunter, and One Small Sacrifice by Hilary Davidson. Very nice Thomas and Mercer paperback production. Gravity's Century, about the century since Einstein made his incredible debut on the world stage. And A Student of History by Nina Revor. So fiction, nonfiction, popular science, not a bad mix, fine by me. And I also got a catalog, which is always fun. So I'll wrap this up for now. We'll take a parting look at the bean. Oh, there she is in profile. There she is, sated with cardboard. Ooh. You're sated with cardboard, aren't you, baby? But I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you, BookTube.